Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about a topic that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to narcissists. Narcissists have a short-sighted vision. They're about the short game. They're not about the long game. And this is why narcissists always lose in the end. They win the battle, but they don't win the war, okay? And the reason for that is narcissists are very impulsive type of people. You have to understand something. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with an empty person. You're dealing with a fractured soul. You're dealing with somebody who may have a smile on their face and put on a front that they're, very self-assured, they're confident, they're not insecure, but they are very, very insecure people that are filled with shame. They're filled with shame in their, unconscious mind, okay? They may not even realize consciously that they feel this shame, but because their actions are what their actions are, it's all based on shame, okay? They have a deep-rooted feeling that they're not good enough, and it's usually from some kind of childhood trauma, or they were the entitled child, the spoiled child that always got their way, but nothing was ever good enough for the narcissist. So their goal, you guys, in life is to feel happiness. They're always trying to feel happiness because a narcissist is never happy, never satisfied. You could give to a narcissist everything. You could go out of your way for a narcissist. People have done everything for the narcissist and they're never satisfied. And why is this? Because of this emptiness within themselves, okay? Now, another thing that you need to keep in mind about narcissists are that, narcissists don't appreciate the little things in life. They're very greedy people. They expect a lot, okay? So, when you deal with this narcissist, understand something. Your best is still not good enough. They're always trying to fill up that empty hole. So they're going to try to satisfy themselves by instant gratification, whatever it could be. It could be cheating, okay? The instant gratification and the pleasure in cheating. Like I had one woman say to me that she went to her boyfriend's brother's funeral, and right after the funeral, he wanted to have sex with her. And she was like, I have no idea why he would want to have sex right after the funeral. You would think that he's mourning, he's upset, he's beside himself. And I said to her, he wants to feel pleasure. He wants to feel good. He's so depressed. He's so darn depressed that he needs a lift. And this is the thing with narcissists, they need that oxytocin in their brain, that feeling of goodness, because deep down they are so unhappy, okay? So this is why a lot of them cheat. And they also cheat too because, they get a certain satisfaction out of knowing something that you don't. And people say, well, why is that? Because it makes them feel clever. They know something that you don't. They're able to put one over on you and you don't know. So this makes them think, oh, I'm superior to you. Okay. A narcissist is very concerned in feeling superior to the next person. And a lot of people don't understand this. They say, I just don't get that. Why would somebody want to hurt somebody else? Because unfortunately, in order to lift themselves up, they've got to put somebody down. So they get instant gratification in a lot of different ways. And one of them is by criticizing and judging people or critiquing and controlling things. They want to have the control of things, control in the house. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? They want to be the authority on everything, to tell you, you're not good enough, so that they could feel better. So in order for them to always feel better, they've got to put other people down, okay? Again, we're dealing with a fractured soul. We're dealing with a damaged person who never feels good enough. And people try to say, well, maybe we could help the narcissist. You can't help somebody who won't acknowledge that they have a problem, Okay, this is the problem. A narcissist won't self-reflect and think that anything is wrong with them because they can't deal with that shame, in their subconscious mind. So they're always going to, they're going to project their shame onto you, onto other people, so that they could feel better about themselves. And like, again, I said, they live short-sightedness, okay? And the other thing that I want to tell you is this, okay? It's like when you're dealing with a liar, a narcissist thinks they're very clever. They think that they're smart because they don't show their hand. They think that they're smart because, they're able to fool you. But what they don't realize is what is in the darkness always comes out into the light. That's just the way life is. That's why the truth always has the power. There's always power in the truth, okay? You never forget what the truth is. You can back up the truth. You can't back up lies, okay? And lies get exposed. And a lot of these narcissists, they may be able to get over for a little while with their manipulation and their gaslighting. But what happens when you know what the narcissist is? You're not going to deal with that person anymore, okay? If you're a smart person, because you realize that this person is trying to fool you, okay? So what happens? The narcissist loses good people in their lives. A lot of narcissists that are married, all those years of abuse to somebody, or, cheating on somebody, or putting other people down. What happens eventually to that person? That person is going to collapse, and they're going to be upset. They're going to get anxiety and depression, and they're going to be in, a pit of unhappiness. But guess what? Eventually, that person pulls themselves out of that, and they become a strong individual. And this is what the narcissist doesn't get, okay? All the pain that they inflict on other people makes those people stronger, because it's pain that builds up your strength. How do I know? Because I lived it, you guys. I dealt with a lot of emotional abuse in my life, whether it was in family, whether it was in relationships. There were periods where I'd be crying. I was upset. I had anxiety. I had depression. And when I was able to educate myself on narcissism and realize what exactly was going on, I was being gaslit. This is why you've got to know the red flags. You've got to be able to spot when somebody's gaslighting you or somebody's lying to you. When they say, oh, it didn't happen like that, or you don't remember that, or they call you crazy or anything like that. Ding, 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 ding. You're being gaslit. You're dealing with somebody who's trying to confuse your mind. This is why you've got to educate yourself to the point that you could spot it and say, no, I'm dealing with toxic. You're not going to flip that onto me. You're not going to, make me think something that isn't the truth. You've got to be focused, you guys. You've got to know your shit, all right? It's like when you go into a courtroom, what is the other side going to do? They're going to try to confuse the judge. They're going to try to, bring up other things. They're going to try to discredit you. But you stand behind the facts, all right? When you stand behind the facts and you stand behind the truth, there isn't a damn thing or a thing that a good lawyer can do when you are speaking the truth and you are laying down those facts, okay? Because you've got them. There's power in the truth. I don't care who their lawyer is. When you know what you're talking about, or even whoever you're dealing with, no matter who you're dealing with, when you know what you're doing, they can't say anything. And the other thing too is the narcissist, they try to break down your self-confidence. Like their goal is to have control. Their goal is to have power. And their goal is to break down your self-confidence because it makes them feel superior and it gives them the power when you start to doubt yourself. This is why you've got to know what the fuck you're talking about when you're dealing with a narcissist. You've got to be focused so that when they come at you any which way, okay, and they're not speaking the truth or they're trying to confuse you, you disengage with somebody like that and you let them know that is not what happened until you're able to acknowledged the truth, until you are able to own it, there is nothing left here to say. And you stand behind your truth, okay? You stand behind, you believe in yourself, okay? The more knowledge that you get, the more self-confidence you will have. Period. Dot. End of story. That's why I'm telling you education is the key. But getting back to the focus of this podcast about how narcissists are short-sighted, you got to understand something. So they work off impulses to satisfy, feeling better about themselves. And the thing is, they break up marriages because of it. There's a lot of narcissists that are out there, creeping on the side on social media, talking to other people. And they may get away with it for a little while, but eventually what's in the darkness always comes to the light. And guess what happens? Then they end up in, when their partner finds out that they're being shady, guess what? Now you're not in that relationship. Guess what? Now you're in court paying out thousands of dollars to lawyers. Guess what? Now you're not going to have the same relationship with your kids, okay? Because in time, kids will see who the toxic parent is. And a lot of people ask me about this, and they say, I'm worried my kids are being manipulated. You just speak the truth to your kids, give them plenty of love, and in time, they will see who the toxic one is. Just do the right thing. When you do the right thing, nobody can, come against you because you're doing the right thing and you're showing your children love, okay? They'll see in time. Believe me, I'm speaking from experience. They'll see in time who's the toxic one when they get older. So, you guys, they lose in the end. Narcissists lose in the end. They lose good people, okay? They lose you. And that's the biggest karma you can give a narcissist, is by never, ever entertaining them again. And this is what I tell people that have been emotionally abused by a narcissist, and the narcissist tries to come back in their life. And they say, well, I don't know why they keep coming back. I tell them to leave me alone and everything. You don't tell them nothing, okay? Do not interact with the narcissist. They are not worth your time. They are not worth your breath, okay? They have proven who they are by their actions, not their words, by their actions. So now they are not a part of your life. You've got to separate yourself from toxic mess and say, you know what? I don't have to tell them anything. What I do is I disengage. I keep blocking them. I don't entertain them. I don't have to explain myself to them. They're not going to get it even when you tell them, please leave me alone or something. They're still going to, the fact that you're still talking to them is giving them hope that they could break you and kind of weasel their way back into your life so they could use you for some kind of supply, all right? That's it. No contact, all right? No contact with the narcissist. That's the best thing you can do when you're dealing with a narcissist, is to ignore the narcissist. Don't give them any attention whatsoever. That's the only way people know that you're serious. This is your way of respecting yourself. This person has done you dirty. They have twisted the truth. They have not been transparent with you, and they don't even deserve your presence. Because a lot of people say, well, should you tell the narcissist off, or should you tell them that they're a narcissist? No, you don't have to prove anything to the narcissist. You know what they are, okay? You leave them cold. You leave them confused the way they left you confused. You don't have to explain yourself. They know what they did, all right? They know what they did, and they lose in the end, you guys. They lose in the end because a lot of them, their lives become mess. They're going in a circle looking for something, from one partner to another partner to another partner. They get bored and they're moving on. And then what happens to them down the road? They end up alone, bitter, and depressed, okay? Unless they have money, then there'll always be a little flying monkey around trying to sponge off them, but they only want them for their money, okay? So, They dig their own graves. And the other thing, too, with narcissists, that they're short-sighted, is they run themselves into the ground because they're living secret lives. They're spreading themselves thin. They're dealing with a lot of options. And what does that do? That tires you out. And what's going to happen when you tire yourself out? Let's say you're dealing with somebody and then you're seeing another person, then you're seeing another person. Then you know what's going to happen in time? They're going to run themselves into the ground and it's going to affect their health. And a lot of them end up sick. That's their karma as well because they didn't, live a straight, narrow path in life. Instead, they were all over the place, disrespecting other people and disrespecting their bodies as well, okay? Because they were, spreading themselves so thin that they end up getting sick. So they are short-sighted. They don't see the big picture. They don't see that in order to have beneficial things in your life, it takes work. It takes commitment. It takes sacrifice. But nothing great in this world comes without sacrifice. Somebody wins an Olympic medal, they put in years of sacrifice and the benefits come later on, okay? You water a relationship to make it grow. You put in the work, you put in the sacrifice, and you're with the right person. It will benefit you later on with that person. You'll grow and your relationship will get stronger. When you have a healthy relationship and the two of you are both sacrificing for each other, you have built a strong bond there, okay? A strong bond that nobody could break because you both have proven that you're willing to sacrifice for each other, to be as one, okay? To support each other, to get through life. This is the backbone of, they're your backbone and, vice versa and all of that. But see, a narcissist, they want something free and easy. A narcissist wants, they want something and they never want to have to work for it. They want like what comes easy. That's why a lot of times they'll cheat, not necessarily with somebody better, but just because it's convenient. And sometimes they end up with diseases and STDs and everything like that. Why? Because they're reckless. Narcissists are reckless, all right? So, they're not careful, cautious type of people. They're calculated in the short term. Oh, how can I screw somebody over for money? How can I, get over on my partner? But in the long game, they lose, okay? Because what do I say? What's in the dark always comes into the light, and they lose out later on because there is no get rich quick scheme, all right? A matter of fact, even these scammers that try to scam people on the dating apps, a lot of them have gotten caught, all right? Some haven't, but they will eventually, they will get caught. And narcissists have criminal minds. So they don't care about lying, deceiving, getting over, robbing. A lot of narcissists, they're thieves. They steal your soul, they steal your money, they steal your children. And in the end, the karma is it comes back to them, you guys. It comes back to them in time. Just kick back and let them destroy themselves. And they do. How do I know? I have seen it. I have seen it with, my ex. Things that I never thought would happen, happened, all right? Where they got sick and all this other stuff. I couldn't believe it. And it always catches up with people. Things always catch up with them. I've seen people in 20, 30-year relationships with a narcissist, and then finally something comes to the light and they found out through somebody else that they were cheating, and the whole marriage ended. The whole marriage collapsed. Everything was gone, all right? So, nobody can dodge that bullet that long without eventually fucking up, okay? That's why criminals always end up getting caught the longer they're a criminal. So the longer that you're a narcissist, the more that you're deceiving people, the more that you're playing games, the more you're going to put yourself in a position to be played yourself when you meet another narcissist, okay? Just put a narcissist up against another narcissist and watch the chips fall. because not everybody is an empath, or not everybody's going to say, oh, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. Let them go up against another narcissist, and believe me, they will be taken, they will be played. And it happens, you guys. It happens because, when you spit in the wind, it's going to come back and it's going to hit you in the face. So that's why, you always got to do the right thing. Do the right thing because it will catch up to you. It's like these thieves that try to fool the government with taxes and, all these kind of underhanded business, schemes and everything. What happens? They get nailed later on, okay, for all these schemes. So, eventually it's going to catch up to them. So they're short-sighted. They don't see the big picture. They don't see the consequences in what they do. And some of them don't even care because they're so impulsive. They just want to fill that empty tank and feel pleasure or feel superior, or they're worried about their image. And they don't care, but they will pay the consequences later on, okay? Like a lot of narcissists, they try to say, oh, you don't have a lot of friends, this and that. Look at all my friends. Their friends are acquaintances, okay? They're not strong friendships because a lot of times the narcissist can't rely on these people because the narcissist is unreliable. So a narcissist is not a good friend because they're out for themselves. They'll never put themselves out for somebody unless there's some kind of benefit out of it. So they don't really have those strong friendships. They have a lot of acquaintances or something like that, but, down the road, they can't always rely on those people because they were never there for somebody. They were never getting their hands dirty or going out of their way for somebody. So they don't see the big picture of life, and they're very, very materialistic and superficial. They're only concerned with earthly things, who's got the nicest car, who's got the nicest house, this and that. They don't worry about the afterlife, all right? When you're a real spiritual person and you have you think deep, all right? You realize that, this is just one part of where your soul is going to go. This is just one test here on earth. This is not heaven. This is earth. So, you will face judgment day one day, you guys. You will face judgment day and you will be judged for what you've done here on earth. And I truly believe that. You don't have to believe me. You could believe whatever you want to believe. But from everything that I read, and I read a lot. I'm a big time reader, you guys, and I think outside the box. See, narcissists don't think outside of the box. They think about the here and now, the today, the tomorrow. They don't think about long term, all right? Long term, where am I going to be? Or long term, I got a plan and I got to work hard to get what I want. No, they want without having to put the work in. So they're short-sighted and they will lose in the end, okay? So I hope that helps you guys. If it does, please hit the subscribe button and please share the podcast. Have a terrific day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.